going deep into your unconscious mind with meditation that will activate superhuman abilities. Hopefully you're hearing this. I'm going to check. Go ahead.
Well, welcome to this live transmission with the purpose of bringing to you a meditation related to the Earth's Merkaba and aligning it to our own Merkaba, because today is a very special day. And why? Because some people believe, so this is a possibility, that today is the so-called Hitaro, which is the day that the Earth's acceleration, or the Earth reaches a range of acceleration that restores its Merkaba. And we know that also after the last cataclysm, the Earth, it's most likely that entered into coma and went to restore itself as the consciousness, as the living consciousness that it is. And that right now it has reached a point that it's ready to go to the next stage. So this acceleration in its spin is as us, mirroring into us. What happens when we spin? Our vehicle of light ignites. Our geometrical body turns into a sphere. And we are capable to generate let's say a status of levitation, and maybe not like a literal one unless you're very trained to do that, yet you can access to a higher level of frequency, definitely. So this is the first thing, and you can see and tune into more and more articles talking about, which is the second thing about this date, which is perhaps you have heard about Nemesis. And Nemesis has been called the twin sister, or the evil twin sister of the sun. Why? Because a pattern has been detected that every determinate thousand of years, actually 26,000 years, something happens that a cataclysm arises and a restoration in humanity happens, and also in the earth, of course. Yet we're not going into all that, those egregores of apocalypse, because we are writing our own story. Yet we can take definitely into consideration some information that is already awakened in the conscious collective. So this is a story and this mythos perhaps about Nibiru and being in the solar system, in the ecliptic of Nemesis. This is why they are sharing like a common story about both of them appearing every 26,000 years, 20,000 years, coming into the solar system and shaking the magnetic field of the planets and generating specific effects on every planet and the celestial bodies around the planets. So it has been more and more exposed, all this information, you know, that Nibiru is also called by a lot of people the Planet X. and there is this story behind the so-called Anunnaki or Anuna, which are people from the sky. According to ancient texts, that's what it etymologically means, people from the sky. And moreover, like going beyond that story, we're here connecting with the fact that the earth, the sun, cannot be just one star, like we are spinning around just one star. It could be a binary star system, which is very interesting. And that would change and shift a lot of things, and actually give a response to why there is this magnetic field influencing drastically the planetary ecliptics around the sun, and that hasn't yet been fully determined. Why? Where is that coming from? Where is that magnetic field coming from? So, well, let's say that perhaps it is Nemesis, which is also the suffix of Isis, Nemesis, like Genesis. Perhaps it's Nemesis, and perhaps it's bringing a different story if it is coming into the solar system. It is now bringing a new story because we get to choose now what we're going to experience from now on as sovereign beings. So, having said this, you want to say something?
Yeah, keep going. I'm ready. So.
Okay, so having said this, it is a pleasure to share with you this meditation, giving some introduction of what is the purpose that is gathering us tonight, and which is mainly, having said this, two facts that have been uncovered and that we are bringing them to you for you to tune into them and see what information you receive about this. When we talk about the Earth's axis tilt, we're talking about a certain leverage into the feminine aspect, like the heart of the Earth going a little bit towards the feminine side. The feminine, it's feminine energy. As we know, the Earth has a consciousness. It's a reflection of ourselves. And perhaps this inclination is showing to us as humans that that could be one of the keys of why throughout all the human evolution, the feminine and the masculine have felt that only the feminine can feel love, and that is in charge of the love ignition, and that also men and women come from a different planet. What if the heart being perfectly aligned, not having this inclination towards the feminine side, what if that energetically would solve that subtle misunderstanding in between energies and generate an easier fusion in between them, and not only in between feminine and masculine, if our axis is centered and our heart as well. Also, the brain will be easily aligned, and our brain hemispheres as a consequence to that. Is this possible, energetically achieving this and experiencing it manifested in our reality? Well, we are writing our story, and what we believe is what we come to experience as a reality, because our power of creation through our thoughts is so powerful. And our body tells to us what we need. So, do you want to say something?
It's checking. How's the audio out there? Can you hear us well? Give us a thumbs up, and it's good in the chat if it is. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, if someone wants to ask something and or share something before we begin with the meditation.
Yeah, feel free to put questions in the chat, and if you want to add things and possible directions in meditation and goals you want, that's perfect. Because we want to fulfill your goals and your your internal infinite desires and all that. So we're willing to go deep into that section if it's good and syncs up well. So feel free to comment and ask questions. We may not get to every question, but we like to. Also, we'll be doing meditation after, but that's fine. So this is the talking point, so feel free to ask questions, especially now.
They say that it's a little bit low, the volume. So
where on your, which one?
In both YouTube and Facebook.
Okay,
thank you, James.
How's this? Is this better? Anything better there? Okay, go ahead. We'll test that.
Okay, so can you hear us better now? If you let us know, thank you. And well, so bottom line, tonight we will be connecting our tubules in our chakras to, at a quantum level, to the earth, mirroring into the earth, and doing that through 144,000 cycles per second, which is the harmonic speed of light, with the purpose of upgrading our electromagnetic field by igniting our vehicle of light, our light vehicle, and expanding our double torus, our vesica Pisces. And that will easen up a lot to receive in your electromagnetic field all these plasma showers that are continuously happening lately. And also there are some interesting alignments coming up planetary wise in June. Almost 7 planets coming in alignment in June. So there is a lot of alignment in the field coming up. So the more aligned we are, we know that this time, like all the time, yet right now in this present moment in which we are, is requiring a lot of strength in the heart, a lot of strength in the thymus gland. The thymus gland is the higher heart and is the gateway to the continuum of space-time to connect into a higher form of perception inside our brain, in a place that interconnects both of our hemispheres just in the eye of Horus. So it's very important to stay aligned and to ignite very specific points in the body. With the acceleration of the planetary body at this time, do you guys sense any specific, I don't get to see, collective detox going on? Do you want to answer for it?
Okay. For the questions?
Yes.
All right. With the acceleration of the planetary body at this time, do you guys sense any specific collective detox going on? All the time detox. Everything sucks. Oh no, it's great. You can love it. If there's pain involved, then it's like telling you for something to detach. Detox is like a physical version of detachment from what you're ready to let go of, what your body's already forming capacity in higher self and source. It's directive to dump a bunch of stuff into the physical matter, energy-wise, and get it out of your body like a vehicle, transporting it out. So yeah, it's happening all the time. More detox, yeah, you can even read for that, like intensity of either physical detox, or which usually is triggered by the organs and their intelligence. You can have like faith and awareness and even influence the triggering of that. It's very smart. I found, like, unless like your body's organs are very hijacked, then they do stuff at inopportune times, like when you're driving or at church. So, but if you purify them very well, then yeah, they seem to hold things in when you need to hold them in for a while. They seem to let loose when you're at home and you don't have to be embarrassed and you don't have to go anywhere for a few hours. So there can be a very intelligent method with it, and it's like, oh, wait till the weekend or whatever, and you can do your own detox and trigger bigger events, either through chemicals or like Epsom salts or other entrants, as well, besides ingesting a certain amount, like Epsom salt flush. There's also the other backdoor, and then triggering through like teas, like dandelion tea, apple juice. There's a bunch of different herbs for each organ that they respond to in ducks, as well as you can just do it with your hands and purify the area and then allow those. But there's a system of it, and there's a higher purpose behind that chain. So like earth detoxes too, and then above the sun detox. Yeah, so yeah, you can see it intensifying. So when you intake, there's a lot of things that happen at the same time. So when you intake a lot from the sun, like in the solar flares, that amplifies detox. Stream resonance, different types of flares because it uses multiple types of energy. One of them can cause detox. Not exactly the aurora, though your body may want to detox on its own, but it's not a super commonality. And then your field can trigger through the root chakra effects of the excretory system, both energetic and physical. That can go deep as you clear that. And as above, so below, especially if you get to the core of what needs to happen. I'm just going to get into my cat. Yeah, what do you want to say on that?
Well, yeah, definitely, as Sean was saying, I agree. Like, there has always been a detox. It's either way, it is indeed accelerating, as everything is accelerating, as the planet itself, it's accelerating. And we can see this in, like, translated in time, like time, the feeling that time is accelerating. And of course, if time, which is the rhythm, to say it somehow, it's accelerating the rhythm in which our organs and in which our body was used to dance or flow, it's now shifting, it's upgrading. So things definitely need to be released. Our immune system will definitely have um, um, a response to that. And that's why I was talking about the importance of the thymus gland, because it's also not only the high heart, yet the center point of the immune system. It generates all the immune cells, the T cells. So it's a great way to also support your body through all these shifts, and also all the the advices on the herbs, which is amazing, because in order to receive all the high energy that is emanating from the sun and from Alcyon, it's important for us to release whatever is getting in the way. So
if you don't know about Alcyon, we're on a big spiral going away from the center of the galaxy, or at least in a motion. It's like a thing in the center of the galaxy is like around Sagittarius, and we're following a big spiral of the Seven Sisters.
Yes, yes, and we could really go deep into those topics maybe in another
Yeah,
show
there's a lot
because
of
there are a lot
celestial magic.
yeah, a lot of codes related to the seven sisters, the seven oxes, and the relation of the blue sun and now the blue comet that we just showed in in Portugal and Spain a
Yeah.
couple of days ago.
Divine
No,
feminine.
yes. So, is mucoid plague real?
You're talking about plaque. I mean, yeah, the inner lining of the intestinal layer, yeah, that can be full of crud, and full of stuff that just toxic and makes you fat and all this other stuff. And yeah, if you detox it well, like through enema, colonic, board, or Epsom salt mostly for the small intestines, large intestines mostly for the other back door. If you want to, you do all kinds of prayers, amplify it, ingredients into this, whatever for the back door. It'll get it really witchy, but the Epsom salt flush, you can do prayers over it, and the salt elementals, and that like flushes out a lot. But it kind of needs some like a dishwasher type of concept of hot, just enough hot that's bearable water if you want to break it down. For the squeamish, I'd recommend go get a professional colonic. It's not as bad as it sounds. They're very gentle, and if they have the right machine, you can see it, and and you can observe things and scry into your poo or whatever. It's pretty funny, but and then you can lose large amounts of weight, feel better, lighter, makes your dreams better. Yeah, and then I was like reading all this stuff. It like elevates your power like tremendously fast and far. Like days, weeks, months, sometimes years, depending on what you got in there. Like that ancient McDonald's you ate when you're 8 years old. That like allows
A coin.
portals to hell realms into your gut brain. Yeah, that you could get rid of that. Yeah, that was crazy when I found out about that. It's like, oh my god, this says hell realm portals. Like, if you ever eaten anything with Roundup on it, which is most of the food supply chain if you don't wash it, or pesticides or GMO foods. A lot of them very haunted. So yeah, it's great. Get rid of that stuff if you can. It's all time, but a couple nights ago a new sound appeared. It was modulating wave sound. Wonderful tinnitus. Don't you just love it? A frequency in your ear, getting your attention. Yeah, it's probably somebody wanting your attention, or a download. But the download comes from somewhere, so you can track back where it's coming from. Is it Earth? Is it the Sun? Is it your guides? Is it somebody wanting to hit you up on your phone? You can like tune into it like a radio station chat, or a TV receiving a signal. And open it up on your TV internally and start exploring who it is, like vision. Do you have anything you want to say there?
Well, more and more all the power of the frequencies and how we're capable to use those waves if we know how to use them in our body. That's why it's so important to know how our body functions. It's vital, it's fundamental. It's like having this beautiful high-tech equipment and not knowing how to use it. And so the more we get to know about our body, we can even focus that wave into a specific part in the body and expand it, and receive even more about it. So yeah, it's like you just tune into it and find a way that you get to connect it and route it to the very specific place that it's main aiming to go, and then amplify it and see the results of what's happening. It's like creating your own chamber, your own acoustic chamber. And yeah, you can also amplify it by listening to other frequencies once you have detected where is it meant to go. And yeah, a lot of things happening lately, and you will see more and more about the frequency because it's really quite simple. I mean, we are mostly 80% of water, so the capability of our molecular structure of our water to permeate with the frequency that it's coming to us, it's 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 very handy. It's very loyal. Our body, how receptive it is. So yeah, I love frequency and I love waves of sound. So and yeah, about all the things, just to finish, all the things coming out. Um, yeah, the Earth is, again, the Earth is spinning faster, so things will come out from different places and different layers. So yeah, it's wise to find a way in how to give us what we need, what we require, what our body requires, and flow. Yeah.
Okay. Let's finish some more quick. So let's see. Check out Professor Spira and his lemon juice enemas. Wow, that. Okay. Yeah. Well, at least you'll expose if you have like diverticulitis if you take that, and it'll burn like crazy. But yeah, it might work some well. I don't know. I'll look it up. Hey, people use coffee, chocolate, sage, colloidal silver. Used a bunch of different parasite detoxing things. Black walnut was good. Yeah, depending on your goal, to like just eradicate everything in your colon, and then start anew. And then there's also like probox, so there's like a building process where you're getting rid of everything that's negative there. Like you could also do fungicides like calendula is really good. So you could do all that into the equation and then get rid of funguses like candida. Woo, get rid of that. That causes cancer. Hey, so get rid of that. Get rid of the parasites. Get rid of the viruses, whatever the bacteriophage, the negative bacteria. Put a lot. Clear it out. Make it clean as possible. Maybe do some fasting, and then also build back up your gut-brain microflora in the positive way. Very intense. Okay, let me go back to the chat thing. Alright, just rind, and all it takes is the silver is awesome. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, the silver is good because it leaches other elements out of areas. So the one, so it takes other minerals from a place or whatever it is. It's like fills it space. It magnetically attracts it. I just it's also nice. Use an angelic paste to heal the tech. Okay. Yeah. Angelic tech. Okay, sure. Yeah, I believe so. Depends on what you mean by angelic tech. As like brought to you by angels. Call on Melchizedek, and his own star team doesn't know. Cool. Okay. So go ahead.
Yeah, it's very interesting that all these topics are coming in relation to this meditation, because as we know, well, if you agree or are in resonance with this, everything is interconnected onto some extent. So how can this topic be connected to our meditation today? So, well, we know that the earth is nourished by a lot of viruses. It's also like almost most of the living forms in earth are viruses, including what is inside our body. So that's one thing. And there are very good viruses, to say it somehow, that are opening up to life and to continue to evolve, and other ones not so much. So anyway, that's one thing. And the other thing is that yeah, this is very related to what Sean also does, and that we found resonance a lot from the very beginning, is that we get to bust our fuel, our shadow, our golden shadow, as the fuel to achieve our purposes. Like take all this crap, to say it somehow, and transform it into gold. And in relation to what we were talking about, like if some races came here to Earth to find gold, well, we are gold. We are walking gold, however you can say it, whether our own divine nature, what resides within us, and how we are capable to transform energy that we are generating and sublime and make it sublime, alchemize it into sublimation and into divine forms of creation. So now this is just translated at a biological scale, so it's beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah, what do you like? Okay, so like everyone can believe differently and think. There's a lot of belief system I've heard on Nibiru and the concepts of it. So feel free to put yours in the chat. We'd like to hear it all.
Yeah.
Is it real? Is it not real? Is it doing this? Is it far away? Is it close? Is it invisible? Is it out of phase? Is it very hyper intelligent? What's going on with that species? And yeah, Yssah, what do you think? And then I'll talk about mine because I just what I tune into, but I love what everyone talks about. So we'll give all our options in the chat.
Well, talking about gold, there is one of the mythos, to say it somehow related to Nibiru or Nibiru, that they were having issues with their electromagnetic field, that actually the atmosphere of their planet was collapsing due to all the nuclear tech that they had been using. So the way that they found to regenerate it was through particles of gold. So they were in the quest of finding gold, and they found it because there were already beings from Nibiru in the earth, among with other species, other races that had already been here as founders in the earth. Again, how I perceive it, I relate it to the Hyperborea stage, when all these founders came and actually started all that genetic process, not on humans, not in manipulation, yet, just taking samples and doing this exchange of life forms in order to expand life. So, and one of those stages, probably also other beings from Nibiru came to the earth and found gold, and then they were really in a red flag back there in Nibiru, and needed to come here to do something about their atmosphere. So they started looking for gold. And yeah, there is also a lot of things that we could talk about. The Apsu. What does the Apsu really mean? Is it a physical place? Is it an energetic place? Is it an underground a conduct to another wormhole that takes to another, let's say, reality or dimension within the very same Earth's core? Is it plasma? Is it a place full of it's easier to access to plasma there? It's because actually now the community of quantum physics are proposing for energy to be generated through plasma. So, and the vacuum tech. So it is quite. Oh, that's another topic. But anyway, so they were trying to find ways to save their planet, and gold was one of them. And so, bottom line, we all know, or I'm quite sure that most of us know about the story of the manipulation in the human DNA, that more and more it has been scientifically proved that our DNA is not a product of a progressive evolution, yet from an abrupt evolution. and in relation to two specific chromosomes, which is the 2 and the 7, among other chromosomes that were turned off and that are actually dormant. Mainly, like scientifically, they have been focused on chromosome 2 and chromosome 7, related to those capabilities, skills that put us in another range, and aside from, let's say, other species like monkeys, and that which capabilities of skills of motor skills are not the same, or even vocal, like the way of brain processing in the end. So yeah, there is a lot of feeling in the field that these rays of Nibiru came and did all this manipulation to the DNA in the human to raise them as slaves, to slave them, and to access to the gold. And actually, we also can listen that Nibiru was part of the star system of Sirius, and that it achieved such a high level of consciousness that they achieved the goal of making their planet a spaceship, which is like the goal for many planets, to become a living, moving consciousness, free from an ecliptic that would only determine, cycles within their existence. So, well, that's one thing. And about how most people perceive Nibiru and the beings from Nibiru, which is also quite related to the Atlantean times. A lot of beings from Nibiru were what we know as gods in Atlantis, to say it somehow, perhaps, if you believe so. And bottom line, whether aside of the manipulation, aside of the possible slavery, aside from this amnesia that is progressively coming to an end, and an end because we will continue to remember and evolve. That's our purpose of existence. I believe that it's important to embody a unified consciousness, because when we become victims of our own reality, we are giving away the power of our sovereign power of embodying our faith. And I believe we are more than that. And as I was saying in the very beginning of this video, we are writing our story. We are coming to remember which story, which memory we are up to embody at this present moment. So, yeah, how about you?
Oh, there's a lot. As I psychic track, you tune into things, get visions, dreams, do telepathy. So, try to, I hear people's perspective, put them on shelves, I check them. But I like to tune into things myself, so I keep things that I'm not for full sure on the shelf, and I'll mostly just share the things that I've at least confirmed psychically. And also put that on a shelf if you want, because I don't want to impose my beliefs on other people. Yeah, so I read their Anunnaki, the royal ones, royal seed, which is the translation, those from the sky people on the Siren B offshoot plus Orions, super hybrids, collected DNA from all over the place. So we're, we are species that exist here in a lineage of a tree of life from Earth's inception as a DNA library, that also combined with a species in DNA that they brought their genetics to us. So the combination of that. So we're already hybrids before. Now we're even more hybrids in light and dark, overpoweredness, and also neutral, because I think the Anunnaki are mostly neutral, but then there's a lot of dark because they have their will and they have a different form of goddom, lower G gods, achievement than other hyper spiritual species. And they're more into genetics and accumulating through that, what already earned through the DNA lineages. But there's members that are hyper advanced consciously too, and there's good ones. But then there's it's a mix based on their high. If you live a long time, you gotta go through some shit. So you gotta make some decisions. It's not always the best thing, especially with things thrust upon you in decision making. It's hard. So I have forgiveness and love for all of them. You will find a lot of weird stuff when going through the DNA records of what they've brought in through their genetics to us, as what's evident with chromosome 2 is two chromosomes spliced together, which doesn't happen in nature, as well as retro-transposable elements, just like an added-on zipper type effect ability for DNA to change and edit and add to itself, as well as biophage and virus intake of genetic changes. And there's a lot of limitations, especially when you go into chromosomes. Why? Who added those? As well as the whole Yahweh message in our genetics of like a signature of creator or whatever. Whether you think that's the original source, one above all, or like a lower G God, that's for everyone to decide and figure out. And then, there's a lot of evidence for them in history, as well as you can track back their bases of their various lineages, their effect on the planet. There's multiple factions fighting each other, different agendas, like one's more towards the dark, neutral, some more towards the light, of their interaction beyond just themselves and their goals and their agenda, but how they affect this planet and our species. I'd say we are more rating them based on their positive interaction with us. So there are a lot of different agendas, and a lot of them are like under government buildings and in bases that go deep underground, and have bases on multiple planets, including what people have colloquial termed in Nibiru and Nemesis as a dwarf, brown dwarf star that's hard to see, and if it's far enough away, it's not visible. Naked eye. And then, the other rotations, because I personally don't think it's just those two. So this is going to my belief of what I tune into. I think it's a whole solar system of multiple planets that have been picked up in a higher dimensional faction of the, what are you called, the Anunnaki groups, that are compartmentalized, controlling the gravitational force of the planets. So not everyone has in their species has the ability to move the planets, and they go from star system to star system, linking up, like a well-organized slingshot to link to their gravitational spins, and then do interactions and even colonize and grow their factions throughout, as well as collect DNA and resources, and then they eventually swing to another solar system, and then they keep going. Eventually we're brought, came here and allowed in, and because there's like more interesting rules to reality in what a hologram consciousness planets allows to even come into this reality space. Added their genetics here, took over during a time of like war between other factions, and then but multiple factions from like the Syrian B Orion hybrids. So, and multiple planets within this solar system is what I read, and this includes genetic lineages that introduce, when I track back what has added their genetics to us from both the whole Samaria, Iraq, Iran region of the Anunnaki with Samaria known, another faction having to do with the seeding, and this is multiple seeding groups because there's not one creator of humanity. They also have, they're all kind of engaging in added genetic interaction. Maybe there was one that was first willing to break the mold of galactic law, and then they just added more genetics and played around. But then once that happened, more genetic trading and all that happened. So like then another faction from another point of planetary territory, like I read at least with the Egyptian gods, and Ra being a giant higher dimensional sunbird that interacts with stars, their lineage interacting with Sirius A, B, C, a bunch, and then even beyond that because they're a founder race that goes way ancienter than that, and then them being one of the genetic givers of that. And a lot of people like I know, like Jordan, what is it, Maxwell, or the guy that died was into esoterics, and other people like to categorize these beings as one being, like, oh yeah, the Egyptian gods are the same as Anunnaki, or the Greek gods are the same. I read they're different beings that also in this have their own territory and their own mythos going back, and some going back to different sections of the pan-continental civilization of multi-islands all across the world that people categorize together as one Atlantis, which is more, there's more than that. And there's also inner Earth groups. Anyway, yeah, so there's also Greek introductions, giant introductions, higher dimensional bird people introductions, snake people introductions. So there's multiple planets in this thing, and I think some of the drawings of multiple planets on these tablets and pictographs and hieroglyphs are not our solar system being described, but theirs. But, whatever. That's, take it with a grain of salt. And then you can track those lineage back to there, and then going back even farther. And I read it's kind of a higher, higher dimensionally controlled, so it has a bit of a rotation going back and forth, but it's been moved, so it's not fixed. But it does, once they stop fucking with it and they let it just go, it does have a rotation. But that also depends on what their goal is. At one point, we could tell that there's probably a point when they decided, hey, let's change the rotation and make it so that one of the planets gets closer to Earth and causes a tidal shift that causes floods and coals the planet. Who did that? I wonder. But then there's multiple reasons why higher dimensional beings would allow that too. So there's forgiveness, which is understandable, because there's evil permeating and invading at quite a high level. So there's like allowance of that for purification. Anyway. So there's that, and so I at least read, if you've watched the movie Wakanda, was it Black Panther? Like the city is hidden in a big shroud that looks like a mountain, and you can't see it and you can't find it easily. I think it's like that, and I think higher dimensional solar systems and planets have those to prevent invasion, and so I think they cloak themselves. And there's even higher advanced civilizations. I've even heard like on Venus that make their civilization go out of phase. So even if you can find where it is, you can't really access it easily. So there could be that going on too. And then, but I do believe it has a rotation interacting, getting closer to the solar system. I'm not sure how you'd scale that in like what is entering the solar system, but I can at least agree that it's getting closer. And then there's an amplification with the days where it gets closer in the rotation. And then, so I'd agree that this day amplifies this. And what I can read from it, so there's mostly positive things, but it's Abuse. It's not everything's positive there. So the positive things are amplification of evil antidote a billion times. As before today, it would be a million times. And that allows us to resolve evil. And then ability of destruction times a billion, which is like, it sounds scary, but no, you're going to be the one destroying. And it's not a negative thing, because you need to, it's like the excretory system. You need to break down. We talked about detox. You got to break down the things you don't want in your creation anymore and expel them. And out of that destruction allows for creation, such as fertilizer going to make the seeds. So you'd be, depending on, it's like a gun, so you got to point at the right target. You got to be careful and safe and know what deserves destruction, like evil, as well as cancer or illness and things, or corruption. Those are usually the things that deserve destruction. So, and then you can do loving destruction and light destruction, because all these abilities are formed by the light first. Dark and evil did not earn their authority; they steal it. So, it's like going along with moral code, and don't, as long as you go through the mystery school of do no harm but take no shit, and you're going at the right targets with love, hyper intelligently amplified, which is what love does, then it's like loving embrace of gratitude, flame, that engulfs the negative things like firewood, wood to burn up, and then turn into the ash that can also be used in alchemical processes later, or into fertilizer. Another thing, root eruption. That was a big one. So it's like Kundalini, things that come up. So the Anunnaki, the giants, the Greek gods, the celestials, the giant people, they're good at divine ego. So it may not sound good, but like if you unite your ego, which is the lower self, with your higher self, then you're purifying. The ego holds on to and prevents from going deeper into your soul negative attachment. So it quarantines everything that comes externally. So it's what is your first line of defense. So once you hug and love and give attention to the ego, it purifies, and then the process of what is having an ego death, which is bringing to remedy the situation of the external and it releasing, and more of your higher self being allowed in. It's also like the Orphic egg, where the serpent's wrapped around the egg. Most people are asleep. Their ego owns them. It's wrapping around the ego. It's keeping it from growing. But it might think it's doing a right thing for safety, because the awakening process can be disruptive. It can be hard. It can even cause death if you're not ready for it. If you're highly targeted, then you may not be ready for it. You might want to just go back to sleep, or the dark may increase their targeting of you. There's a lot to go on. It's a big tug of war going on. So there's reasons for everything. But the ego can, if you get it to fall in love with you by you loving it, it will protect the egg, which is divinity in you, so that it feels safer and safer and safer to expand and grow that light within. As above, so below, with the lower or higher self. Which, what can you do with divine ego? I don't know. What can Zeus do? Because that's mostly his thing. And there's other, the whole Anunnaki Greek god. What can they do with that? So, but like there's a dark path and there's a light path with ego magic. So be careful, and I recommend the light path, or fully integrated path, which is in unity with everything and not in against the flow of the universe. Okay. There's going to be ego, divine ego ability eruptions. So love your ego, heal it, it'll purify it. It goes into ego death, because the ego never dies. It can make pretend it is. It most goes into silence of mind, and you like feel oneness, and you're like, I'm one with every. Oh my God, it feels so good. Love. It's purifying. Ego gets chatty, overwhelmed, and pressure in the heart when it's overwhelmed. It also steals energy, because it's centered in the solar plexus. So it needs that. It's chatty and all those symptoms when it needs attention. you hug it all and love it, give it all that attention. It will heal and purify because it is protecting your soul. Without it, things would hack into your soul, and that's not good. I'll tune into the other thing, but the negative thing is there's anytime there's another dramatic planet in the solar system that gets closer, you're going to be dealing with its light and its dark, the things it does well and doesn't do well. Those planets aren't in the best condition because they've been through a lot, so they offer way more than I'm talking about, but as we heal them or resolve them, or the brave ones that feel the way to do that, they build more, and they're like a branch of your tree that activates and has all this fruit bearing. It's nice. Same with the other plants, but they also have drama. Everyone, all the plants in the solar system are very dramatic. They have their dark sides, so there will also be the evil there. But those that know how to resolve evil, it's a good opportunity to turn on that aspect of your universe and to make it brighter. Okay, you want to talk about that? That was a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, there are a couple of things. I love when you were talking about how these ancient civilizations could actually use like these veils to cover themselves and generate this safe place for other civilizations not to notice where they are. And it came to me like all these matrices that were created within the matrix of simulation, precisely by those ones who know how this matrix, this simulated matrix works and functions, and which is mainly through time, and time connected to the moon. And yeah, like we have been already mentioning, the moon is a whole topic, so also when you were talking now about the egg and how the ego is requires from a specific attention. I was also tuning into and remembering in connection to what I was talking earlier in the transmission, that how all these feminine and masculine energy within came at some moment to a huge disruptor in between one another, and then like enhanced this never-ending battle, which is now coming to, or has come to a point of awareness that there is no battle unless you believe there is a battle. So, and this was anchored deeply also, like interstellary wise and planetary wise in our planet. For instance, I recall that the Mayans talk about the moon as there are two moons, and there is this moon that is this wicked feminine aspect that tries to kill her mother, which represents the earth, and the moon representing Theia, because actually Theia collapses into the earth and that tries to kill her mother. So then comes Huitzilopochtli, which actually represents the blue ray, and it's connected actually to the serpent force, because he's always has a scepter of Xicoatl, which is the serpent of fire, with the blue fire. And like what happens to the wicked feminine that tries to kill her mother is that it's separated into 5 pieces, and those 5 pieces represents the parts of the moon, Theia, which are actually underground and which is influencing the magnetic field of the earth, its nucleus, and it's coming into feeling the feminine aspect as Osiris for the Egyptian cosmology, Osiris being the masculine torn apart, and from the Mayan cosmology, Coyolxauhqui being the feminine aspect torn apart. So with all of these alignments, what we are doing is bringing all these pieces together, because the ego, at some point when we came into this earth, when we were talking about like this, there are these anchors that are embedded in the human hologram just because we are humans, if you resonate with this, because perhaps when we come to this planet, all these anchors are given inherently, and they nourish the ego, and they are amplified by the survival instinct, which is continuously stimulated in many forms, even with this Nibiru thing and the cyclic thing. Like as soon as you hear Nibiru, or you hear Nemesis, the evil twin of the sun, and all of that, like the survival mode can activate.
Yeah, right.
And then it propels, and your ego expands, and then it's a very interesting way how the brain functions through that, because actually it's one of the most archaic parts of our brain, along with the reticular system. So and just to mention,
we should dispel the fear of that, because anyway, I read that the system. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Hold up.
yeah.
Because I didn't want to forget about that. Because yeah, a lot of people, when they hear about Nibiru and Nemesis, they're like, "Oh no, it's gonna come back and cause another flood." I don't believe. I believe that the planet is under control, which means it's not on a fixed rotation, and they moved it out of the rotation that comes really close to Earth to cause a tidal wave. There is a point, like when you see Mars. Mars is far enough away where you can see it, but it doesn't tidally mess with us horribly. So I read that the planet has been close to us, but has moved in a rotation where it's not going to automatically cause a flood unless they want it to, which then there of course are factions within Anunnaki that want that, but they're not like that. When it gets close, that's an opportunity to move it. It'd be the ones that like to cull humanity, and I don't read they're in particularly need to cull huge amounts of humanity besides what they're already doing. So they don't. They farm us. They sell our DNA. There's a lot of really interesting, valuable reasons why they want to keep the farm going. So there's like a war going on with that, but I would say it's not going to cause a huge disruption unless factions push towards that, which I'm not reading that as a big threat at the moment, so you can calm with that.
Yeah, for instance, imagine that the earth, because you said like farm, imagine how I perceive it is that we chose this opportunity, we're given this opportunity to come to this planet, to embody this human body. What for, if there is so much drama going in the field? And the fact is that we're here to unify, how I perceive it, our fractals. And in most of the dimensions, it's kind of easy to unify our fractals, kind of easy. When it comes to Earth, there is a lot of interferential, there is a huge interferential field, a huge, that was precisely designed to generate a mastery of coherence, of embodying a state of coherence that will enable for this body to unite, to unify with the rest of the fractals, and then generate that ascension. How we generate that coherence, when we remember that we are creating all of this, and we can see it even more knitted right now. For instance, if you have a dense thought, you will see that you could see maybe like it is materializing immediately. And if you shift your way of thinking as I speak or as you speak, then the reality shifts. And it's coming more and more and more evident. Why? Because all this level of interferential waves is fading as more solar plasma is coming to the Earth's electromagnetic field, and generating resonance with our own plasma and the plasma that is under the Earth's core, related to the primordial records of Dea and Tiamat, and also, like, I'm saying these names, but you know, it could be any other name because I don't want to connect it or correlate it with the mythos that are pending on each one of these names. So, because there is a lot of history in this. So, bottom line, these matrices, we're weaving our own matrix. And the more united we are, and the more that we're coming from a space of love and not condemning, yet acknowledging who we are and how are we reflecting and giving ourselves feedback throughout every experience that we're embodying, the more sovereign that we are, because then we're not placing our power outside. So stories are beautiful. They inspire us, they encourage us, they give us a part in the scene. And stories and information, the purpose could, one of the purposes for the information would be to find ourselves within the information, not to lose ourselves throughout that information. Both are possible, yet we get to choose. And I believe that one of the ways for ourselves to find ourselves within, for us to find ourselves within that information, is to stay clear who we are and what we are here for. And love takes a lot of energy and commitment and focus. So it's a beautiful ride. Worth it. So.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and just like finish on that topic and we move on to the other stuff. I was just talking about how the day, and also, yeah, feel free to ask questions in the chat. With the planet coming, is a nice little rotation where it's hooked up near the solar system and then outer, and then comes closer, and there's other planets involved. I also read that going from 1,000,000 to 1,000,000,000 is an opportunity to free from enslavement of those within it. And I these topics that the Anunnaki aren't entirely negative. Even the dark isn't entirely negative. How I see them is like they like to dominate or be the apex predator in a system usually. So they usually don't like to just kill off whatever is there. They like to use it in some ways for its benefit or whatever. And so that means if the being that's doing that, like the strong lion or the alpha in the pack, is actually strong enough, it can protect worse things from coming in. So that's the whole role with a lesser evil. So and you can look at, well, not everyone can look at timelines, I guess. So that's why everyone isn't accepting and loving and caring and forgiving of these type of beings and figures. It's because they can't see the timeline that it could have been, which a lot of them are much worse. So that's why a lot of the positive are in agreement to allow a certain apex predator until the light have built enough of a white knight to come in to replace that evil, which takes time in building that up. And that's the long-term chess move of the light, is to become as resilient and powerful as a predator that's able to steal so much from so many beings and use the fast route, even though that's detrimental to its soul. There's gives and takes with the light and dark. That the light will eventually overcome and get stronger, but in the meantime, it allows for lesser evil that is a better timeline than what could have been, which is what, and then there's a bigger equation in the future of what's needed in the chess move of the DNA being brought in to us as a super species, and what that allows, the chocolate souffle of this timeline, which will be way better than what could have happened and be resilient as crazy fast. So there's, and there's a thing with the need for the teaching of what the dark does as a representation of divvying out suffering that allows for an unfoldment of karma that is a lesson, which is ultimately what leads to greater growth really fast, and what is spiritual evolution. And without that, who's going to do that? Are you just going to sit on the couch if you don't have to pay money or suffer or whatever, and get out there and work? But of course, suffering can be too much, and it can overwhelm and cause death and illness and unnecessary suffering versus necessary. Okay, so we have the ability to release enslavement off ourselves in the factions that are in that group more and more, especially as it gets closer, because things get closer. As like U.S. and Mexico, they're intertwining, so they share their things together, and ultimately that completes each other in a greater state of being of what they both need, even if there's suffering involved. There is greater growth where you can look for it. So you can, as it gets closer, you have more opportunity to take your sovereignty back and be your own command of yourself, and not letting anything else own you. Same thing with the management of yourself. This is opportunity you take away from anyone that's claiming that, and you taking up the role and the mantle place and the responsibility and the full power of being in full control of yourself, which is huge. And for those that are wondering, like, who enslaves us? It's not just the Anunnaki. There's a lot of, so I'll name a few. There's a lot of beings that try to claim us in the darker spectrum. Anunnaki, the Draco, some dragons, some negative gods, some evil founder betrayers, a little, for slight individuals, there are other species depending on who you are, and soul, spirit, and rare DNA that you have, that things can try to attach to and claim, and then project psionic enslavement over you, which you can always undo. Same thing with somebody asked a question, can we undo this negative genetic programming? Yes, I do it all the time. I love doing it. She does it too. And everyone's adding an equation to us because the genetics is huge. So I recommend looking for big blanket things that affect a lot, and then finding the cores to different parts of the genetics and the chromosomes and genes, and understand the greater technology, which not everyone does, because nobody really knows the full equation, because there's a puzzle piece from all these 10,000 plus species added to us.
There was just one that I would love to address.
Yeah. Let's go into the questions.
Is this like an essential portal, womb technology with whale song? Let's say that now that we were talking about Egyptian cosmology, let's say that Thoth, the Huti, would state from the very beginning that this universe and this earth was created through the waters of chaos, that it was created through chaos. And then the scientific community continued to translate it through the Big Bang theory, again, collapse and so forth. So yeah, the thing is that I believe that now that you mentioned the whale, because it's a huge code, and it's quite related to the dragons, because how I perceive it and the facts that I have witnessed and the memories that I have is that the dragons are the predecessors of the whales. Even like the name given to the first forms of whales were Basilosaurio Isis, again, the Isis code. And it was, you would see this whale with 4 legs and the mouth so huge, like you're looking at at a dragon clearly. So, and that's in Egypt. That's in the museum of Wadi El Jitan. So you can look at it, and those are fossils of dragons. And well, now about the whale, we also have the codes of the whale. And speaking about genetics and like all the testings that were done, because yes, I agree. Like addressing everything to the Nibiru beings is would be taking the power also of other species that donated their gens to for us to be who we are.
There's so many beings that claim to be the only ones that created us as well, that own Earth. And there's time. A lot of them do time travel and go back as far as they can with Earth's creation and then set up base. And we're here first. It's and they forget their own history too.
Yeah,
and then they get propagandized.
And we get to replicate the same. That's why the rights of author exist, right? The copyright. So yeah, it's very interesting. And yeah, the frequency of the whales. We are capable to generate that frequency. We are capable to generate that frequency. So I invite you to experience and experiment with your vocal cords to see what's the sound of your soul. The African natives do that as like some of the tribes, as soon as a kid is born, they gave to him or to her a song, the song of their soul, and all theirs, when they reach a specific age, they go to this let's say hermit stage where they have to connect with their soul and then start to write their own song, and by the time they come back they chant it, which is beautiful.
With the ascensional portal thing, I mean, if I were to get based on people's definitions, if I get that accurate, it's a pathway, portal, door, whatever, to growth towards your greater self that you were previously, at least as anchored into this body. So, yeah, and there's a lot of hidden ascension portals within the reflections of everything that you can dig enough, you can discover it. So like, yeah, this leads to growth and the resilience as you overcome it. If you don't like deny it, reject it, but also let go of what things are exposing to let go of, it allows you to go deeper as you understand what it is that's coming up on your heart in a heaviness or pressure, whether it be represented by this today or something else going on in your reality, which fractals down anyway. Thank you all. You're beautiful. Love you. Yeah. Thank you for the statements, Patricia. Thank you, Anne. Thank you, everyone.
Yes, thank you.
More CPS, more times to become aware for all that needs to be released, reconciled, and healed back into us. Wonderful, yes. I'm the best. It's also the thing that kills everyone. But yeah, it's the thing that is the undefeated champion. Time, Yssah, what do you predict will happen with our collective perception of the dream realm with the increased frequencies of the planet? You want to go into that? Take my stick. Go ahead. Yeah.
Thank you. What do you predict will happen with our collective perception of the dream realm with the increase of frequency on the planet? Well, as we continue to unite also the dream realm, so I believe that the more that this acceleration continues to happen, the more that we will be feeling neatedly that there is no difference in between the timelines that we are experiencing. And it will be very interesting to see how, like from my perception, like from an axis point, to see how a lot of people with schizophrenia would feel like when they would have all these timelines happening, and not knowing what was truly happening, whether like they would tell her you're crazy. So, but actually they would see more than, and this is proof, so.
Hey, if you're not going to beat this drum, you can just stay. Go ahead.
So I believe that the multidimensional state of awareness will be so, so intimate in our daily life that this, a lot of people address to this reality as a dream spell, and that we are actually dreaming, and that we are awakening from the dream of the dream of the dream of the dream of the
How
dream.
many awakenings are you going to go through with the inception that
Exactly.
we're in? We're already in the inception onion. It's a secret.
Exactly. So we are just for me we are more and more aware of it. I'm playing with it, which is the important part of it, because the more we play with it, the more we're having fun. We're not getting frustrated or stressed, because there are so many things happening, and you're more and more and more and more aware of it, that you don't know what to do with so much information. No, you play with it. You play with it because we're so powerful that we're capable to do and create our reality.
Create.
Yeah, it's deeper.
It's different.
You know. So yeah, it's for me is that sovereignty, that power that gives you a lot of responsibility, yet that kind of responsibility that it's worth it to take, to assume, because then you get to occupy your place in this creation. So yeah, a lot of play and a lot of awareness of our multidimensionality, and therefore the requirement of us to use our five dimensional form of perception skills, embody them, and um, actually remember that we are the ones creating the story, and everyone is just playing a part. And as long as we take action and not just observe what's happening, then we are who we truly came here to be. You're not playing.
Okay, you're gonna play the stick now.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, go for it. Yeah. So yeah, there's like more data open up. So of course everyone knows shadow work. It's allows for the love and light work to really get kicking if you balance it out. Face those parts of yourself that are dormant stars within that are ready to be turned on as you embrace them with love, and then you have more light. It's just exposing the darkness out of you and turning it into light, transmuting the gold and the lead into gold and the alchemical furnace of your being, your heart, and turning on more of that inner light inside, and not allowing as much external evil to come in and mess with you. So, shadow work, as the planets also do, as your people in reality, as you do, the parts within, the altars, the things coming up, the past lives, all that brings shadow work as heavinesses on the layer of the heart wall that are ready to be transmuted into the firewood, allows for the expansion of love and higher spirit, source, higher self eminence from within the heart, and being anchored into the now. So these shifts in the planet and all that's coming closer allows for that as you integrate those parts of the external version of you reflected in you, and you transmute those and integrate them in wholeness and unity. Then that allows for more to unfold, such as some rewards, the things that like, oh, why are the Anunnaki godlike? There's other type of lower G gods that you can also look into too. They all have their own methods and history. There are benefits. So, and they added it next to us, so you can't get away from it. So, it's there. I do recommend auditing, filtering, and purification when interacting with them, because they do come with a lot of baggage. But you already have the baggage, and a lot of it's stored in the ego as like compartmentalized stuff. Same thing, everything you inherited in DNA, just waiting for you to be brave enough or strong enough or ready to deal with it when it unfolds. When you wake up in the morning and like, oh, I'm so depressed, or anxiety out of nowhere, or fear, whatever, negative emotion, or some heaviness in the heart that represents something. Sometimes it's coming through your other things, or past lives, or this life, or things you're ready for. But sometimes it's through the DNA, or if you've been an Anunnaki, same thing when you're integrating that. So yeah, when you face, heal, resolve, purify, bring to peace, unity, and with boundaries, and then purification, and then wholeness, oneness, flow. There's a lot of rewards from that, and same thing with any other species you integrate in your super hybrid genetics. So the Anunnaki, what's allowed to be said, there's an amplification process of you earning. It's DNA magic, branching river that flows through the genetic line of the Anunnaki. There are parasites, of course, attached. Most genetic lineages have a little bit of parasites, so you want to filter and boundary from that. But yeah, if you're earning it, then you can allow more magic into your life through various species that are good at it, such as that super hybrid. And it comes with shadow work, purification, filtering, healing, and doing the inner work. It allows the collective to like you. They don't want to harm you, see you as a benefit, and then you get rewards. And then you purify and filter everything that's given to you, so nothing negative comes through in the little attachments. And you have more magic, which makes shit happen. Okay, and then you fuel that and turn that into abilities. Okay, I'm looking at the shamans. Are you guys still in Egypt? Yeah, sure. Why not? Big love from Canada too. Yeah, I love Canada. Let us know if you come across any place of power there, because I've only got a few, and I think there's a lot of suppression on that from getting out for some reason. They don't like advertise their big place of power besides mountains and lakes and trails. I've seen
waterfalls.
And I've seen some cool things underwater, and the waterfalls are nice. And then if you like bears, then you can go hug them. It's getting easier to see the third person from above along with third person. Oh, I love it. Love that. That's beautiful. Yeah, I know, right? You go out in perspective, and then you keep seeing more of yourself, like the consciousness, seeing the ego, the survival, seeing the emotional body and the perspective, that being seen by the soul, and that being seen by the spirit, and then it being seen higher self, the source. Bigger perspective, observing itself, observing himself, observing itself. And then you observe everything as you. It's lovely. Love it. Okay, did you want to go into Merkabah talk? Merkabah, Merkabah is almost the name of this video.
Yeah, and it's the last thing that we have been talking about, right? So, Merkabah, as the name says, Merkabah, it refers to the cube Kaaba in Kaaba in ancient civilizations represent the cube. I was going to say like Middle Eastern civilizations, all the area of Sumeria and Mesopotamia, Babylonia, all of that, and then Egypt, of course, and probably Armenia, and all those places. And I'm quite sure that if we take a look at some Druid root to the word Kaaba, we will find something, even though the pronunciation is quite different. Not to the Arabic, but for instance to the Mayan. Into the Mayan we also have the word Kaaba, which means my name is. So Kaaba shows, from my perception, the fact that we are incubated in this reality, in this matrix of simulation. We are incubated, and if we ask ourselves, like, when life is incubated, why is it for? And it's because it's premature and it's waiting for the right moment for it to blossom outside that incubation. And if we take a look at ancient texts related to Kabbalistic knowledge and the Torah and all this Genesis also in the Bible, they talk about that the myth of Adam and Eve and the original sin and the prohibited fruit. It's all because Eve took the fruit on the 6th day and not on the 7th. If she had taken the forbidden fruit on the 7th day, nothing had happened. They wouldn't have been exiled. So bottom line is talking about, again, acceleration. So if there is acceleration, it's most likely that life is going to come prematurely. So what is the message here? To flow in the natural rhythm. We live in a reality that we keep on accelerating ourselves to do things. I have to do this, I have to get this done, I have they're waiting for me, I have to go to work, I have to bam bam bam, running all the time, accelerating. And the rhythm of life, for instance, when we connect with Mu, with the Lemurian records and more ancient civilizations that were in connection to the earth, to the nature, they would be all about cycles and respecting those cycles. It's like, for instance, if you want to get something done that it's not ready to flourish, to blossom, then you will lose time. You will spend your time in something that is not ready. If you take care of something that is already blossoming, then you can turn your sight to that which was preparing itself to blossom, and it will be blossoming already, and there is no waste.
Try eating the tomato plant before it makes the tomatoes. Yeah, I can't wait for you to eat. I'm gonna make you in this salad right now.
And you can have it, but the result is going to be quite different than if you enjoy the juicy tomato, cherry tomato in your mouth. Yeah. So then again, acceleration. So if everything is accelerating, if we just keep in rhythm, which rhythm? Can I? Which is the rhythm of our heart, then we are dictating the pace that our reality is going to align to, and not the way around, which is most likely what we get to do when we forget who the axis is of our own reality. And in order to unfold the Merkabah, to ignite the Merkabah, we have to be the axis of our own light vehicle. So Merkabah is when that cube is spinning, starts to spin. It generates a sphere. That sphere is made of plasma, and that sphere is going to go beyond the gravitational field. And what happens when something is spinning fast? It will propel what is surrounding it, because it's not magnetizing, it's expanding. So then it generates an anti-gravitational field around, a coherent field around, and that's what we do when we have our Merkabah on. Like, we are expanding our light. Ergo, there are no interferential waves coming towards us, and if so, they're aligning to ourselves as the axis of our own reality. So the Merkabah is about that. Yeah, it's like people call it the Star of David, but then again, it's addressing a blueprint to someone, and I believe that we are way beyond that. Knowledge is knowledge, and the tetrahedron star is what ignites, It's the lucky charm, because actually if we do a dissection in our startitahedron, is
The great
it
leprechaun
forms, yes,
Merkabahs.
yes, it forms leprechaun Merkabahs.
So turn on your leprechaun Merkabah and get your luck out.
Yeah, and generate a lot of abundance and prosperity, golden coins coming. So.
But
Something you want to say about that?
yeah. But like, what else do you want to say about the history of this, the Ka, the Ba,
The Baraka, thank you for saying it. So for the Egyptian,
just get out the history so people aren't like, ooh, devil's magic.
Yeah, devil's magic.
It's the devil's triangles. Whatever people would say.
Well, then again, information is just information. Knowledge is just knowledge. We give it the intention that, based on our level of consciousness, we are capable to give by the perception that determines the purpose of the information itself. So, like Merkaba also comes from Baraka. Ba is the force of the soul, Ra is the force of the body, and Ka is the force of the spirit. So when we have them all together, Baraka, it represents luck.
Sounds like one of those chocolate cakes.
Yes.
Baklava or whatever.
I don't know what you're talking about, but they sound delicious. Yeah. So, Baraka, and it's like the full joy and expansion and fortitude. And then why it's not Baraka, the vehicle of light? Where is does Mer is coming from? Mer comes from the Trinity. Mer comes from the Holy Trinity.
There you go, baklava. Thank you.
Basolka, exactly.
Like lava chocolate. And she got the stuff with the soul, life force, the con. A lot of it's also like many different aspects of the soul defined. I actually read it as even more because there's like memory, superpowers, life force, all these other aspects of the soul contains. But like some of them are like well categorized in the Egyptian mythos.
Yes, indeed. And now that you mentioned the cow, for instance, there are two cows, the one from Taurus and the one from Argonavis, which is related to the mythos of the Argonauts, which is the biggest constellation, or was the biggest constellation, related to the Ark of Osiris. So, and the cow is also related to the septentrional and the seven oxes. So why is the cow so important, and what is its relation to the Baraka? Where, well, our olfactive conducts generate horns, literally horns, and our bulbous rachideo and our medulla oblongata, if we do a dissection, it is the face of the bowl. So when we talk about illumination of ascension and ignition of all this eye of auras, we are turning in we are bringing and levitating the pineal gland in connection to the pituitary gland through the solar disc in between our olfactive conducts, which are the horns of the cow. So, and actually the Giza Plateau is Rostau, which is Taurus backwards, Rostau. And the main entrance of the pyramid of Khufu, or the Grand Pyramid, it has the hieroglyph of the cow, which is two angles in 45 degrees. And why again the cow? Because Orion has its directing its arc to the eye of the bull, to Aldebaran, which leads to the gateway to Alcyon, because after Sirius we have Alcyon. It's like the upgrade, like the beginning where we are heading to through the Platon's belt, all this movement, and then going or returning to the origin. So Yeah, baraka. Ba, soul, ka. It's the body, the creative force of the body, and the ka from the spirit, baraka. And kaba, uh, like those together, we have the soul and we have the body. Why not the spirit? Because the spirit goes beyond a vehicle of light. The spirit is entangled with the source to all. Therefore, the mer, which means the mastery of the, the thrine mastery of the Trinity, which are the two triangles coming together through the nibble, which is the center of the sphere.
Press the belly button.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Yes.
Any information about stars that have had the Dyson sphere built around them? Yes. Lots of information. Yeah, there's like a bunch of species that do it. Most of them are fairly positive that I've read. You can have a stick. It's hard to talk on stick at the same time. The positive factions, all of them have commonality. They need a fuck ton of energy for some purpose. So they're like, oh, let's build a whole superstructure around the star and we'll get all the power we need. And we utilize as much of its pumping out for as much as possible in a short amount of time. Some use it as a weapon, a giant weapon that they can destroy whole civilizations and planets with if they need. And the ones that have made that are usually neutral or defensive force for the galaxy. And the lighter forces don't want the dark to have that technology. But there are forming superstructures by the dark. They're usually parasitically oriented and using the energy for various means, such as stealing intentions that the light use, which the light have already had formation for, which is life extension, healing. Each one, the drumming is a little distracting. 1 second. A lot of them are portals. So like they utilize it as like a little space station to set up to go through the portal of the sun, which you can use as a stargate to go to other stars. A lot of them I see do that. Then some of them do, depending on the level of the superstructure. Some have surrounded the entire sun with it, so you can't see light coming out of it. Those I usually see done as a way of camouflaging their solar system from being detected, which can be have the gives and takes. What else? Evolution. So they're trying to build a bunch of energy to cause big shifts in their evolution. That's another one that's used. And thank you, everybody. Thank you for the baklava correction. I appreciate it. And Merkabah, there's a lot to it. Yeah. It's okay. No, I just had to remember.
No. So.
It's good. It feels good.
Yeah. No, I know. Thank you.
So in Merkabah, and then we'll do the meditation. If you want to say anything else about it, what we're doing, go for it. So a lot of shapes people use. Light body technology. They use the star tetrahedron mostly as a way of describing counter-rotating fields and taking control of the electromagnetic field and the auric field. For programming, as light body represents auric field emissions of different types of light. Everything is technically light. We just have different spectrums for the electromagnetic spectrum to define it. Most people are emitting infrared. You can emit way more than that, but it takes meditating a lot. And there's different machines that have picked that up as well, such as Kirlian photography and Harry Oldfield filters for the video footage. And then it's a good way to take control of those. There's many different shapes people describe, and you can have many functions depending on what you want. Different shapes amplify certain intentions. You can also have all of them going, and different rotating speeds, counter-rotating ones. They all mean stuff. You can define it in and out, so that's the male perspective, but you can also feel it. I like doing both. The mind and emotions. Control. So people have different things, so I'm open to hearing a bunch of things. But I also noticed there's a war on, like, oh no, that guy is wrong. His Merkabah sucks. That's the devil one. That's going to steal your energy. And there is a way to have an opposite flow that causes illness, but you really want to scan what way your field. It's not like set for any particular one. People have different ones and different ratios, so it's kind of hard to answer that. Though it is commonalities with the majority of the population. You got to find out what your field spins on its general main spin ratio, and then versus dominant versus receptive, recessive, and when you're healthy versus when you're ill. What's going on when you're ill is going opposite. And then there's speed ratios. It could be frozen still, especially when it's messed with. Yeah, there's a lot that wants to stop me from telling you this. Interesting. And oftentimes when you wake up, it might get messed with, because it does cause a lot of activations, spiritual involvement, and high amounts of energy when you get it running. And different programs that you set for it could accumulate energy. It could empower you. It can make your emotions feel better. It makes resolves things faster, integrates, grounds, brings in more light in density, in chi, and all that. It brings a lot of things in. It can be alive. Yeah, you can even make multiple little light body forms. You can use remote viewing. You can travel and journey to other places. You can bilocate, and then it goes to even further aspirations, such as what some have claimed. You can unmanifest, remanifest your body somewhere else, and like a dimensional process in spatial travel, which I read that's true, and you want to be careful of that. But not many people have achieved this because they don't have the full equation. It takes a while in practice.
Yeah, now that you say that, it's like the full equation, and they just talk about the inverted triangles coming together through the navel. And the fact is that without the plasma sphere, the Merkaba is not fully complete. And how you activate the plasma, and that's the thing, because a lot of people talk about the plasma. It has a very specific way to connect with parts of our cells, parts of our red globes, glóbulos rojos, globals, like the cells, of the blood, the red cells of the blood, like the stem cells, the spinal fluid, and actually this is quite related to the Aten. All this information where they talk about the Aten, and they conceived it as the solar god, and that Akhenaten was rising cold for the solar god, which is not accurate at all. He was just showing that a plasma sphere, an orb, would be the generator of life. How? Not only in their bodies, yet of all their technological structures, the pyramidal structures, the arcs. Like the plasma was the life, it was giving life to all that technology, that spiritual tech. And so that's a huge key. And therefore, like we can try to just ignite the Merkaba with the triangular geometries that are generated in our blueprint inherently. But if we don't know how to use our plasma, which is related to what Sean was saying about the chi and all our inner baraka, then it doesn't fulfill, it doesn't fully goes. It's like the tree of life. They talk about the tree of life, and they just show like 1/4 of the figure, which is not even all the spheres. It only shows 10 spheres, which is related to the standard DNA with double-stranded. But what about the 12-stranded DNA? And then we unfold the tree of life projected in 4 directions, and then you get the particle of light pattern. So all of the information was given in 1/4 or half, so that we could discover the rest or remember the rest. And so yeah, thank you for all your comments, and beautiful vibe indeed is being felt in between all of us. So thank you for watching this transmission and for your presence in resonance. And yeah, James, what's the difference between the light body and the plasma body?
You'll answer that.
Yeah, beautiful question. Well, for instance, if we say that we are energy, and the energy is light, and that we are energy generators or light generators, and that we have a spectrum of light which ranges from none to all, and that from black to white is all light at different ranges, then, for instance, we are light, and our body, we have a densification, and we irradiate light, and yet we have plasma within that is located in very specific parts of our body. Now, this form of elemental structure, of elemental energy, then it constitutes and is related to the ether. So we see it located in just very specific parts of our body, because we haven't fully ignited our whole body of light. So when we fully ignite our body, then the plasma within connects with the plasma outside, which is the 99% of the space, 99.999% of the space, and which is molding the density. A lot of people address to the plasma as, or relates the plasma as 99% of what we see. So, in other words, of the matter. And they also say that the plasma is the energy at a very high frequency, like a very high range, and then it becomes in celestial bodies as stars,
like the
which
light,
is
the light reflecting off of physical matter and going back to your eye, perceived, and the electron cloud around the atom, which is 1% of space. What are you talking about?
Yes, exactly. Like for instance, okay, yes, they are irradiating. The sun is irradiating plasma. Do you get to see the plasma, like at a common basis? Do you get to see the plasma? No. So then it's not evident. We have to see it. We have to feel it. So, and it's suspended and pulsing and spinning in that space, and it interconnects us all. So it's the ether, it's the sum of the 4 elements. They call it the 4th state of the matter. Yes, and beyond. It's actually, it would be the 1st state of the matter that connects to all beyond space for me. That's how I perceive it.
Fire, lightning, electricity, and there's even other plasmas that aren't visible. And all elements are connected. You just don't have a good periodic table map that connects them all. This is the new one that, well, it's old, but more recently more got popular when Joe Rogan came out, of the frequency of everything connected and sine waves going up and down, but also like with Walter Russell. And then there's even deeper stuff, because even every type of element has multiple stages of it alchemically, such as gold. So that's the yellow gold, the silver gold, the white gold, the green gold, the red gold, blood red gold, dragon blood. There's all this kind of stuff. And the same thing with every elemental besides that. And then being able to make it so that it has a constant state of reality stabilized, and the reality is also a big equation and challenge. So yeah, there's meditation.
Yeah, actually, I was thinking. No, you go ahead. I was. Yeah, like it will be just a very specific connection to from our Merkaba to the Merkaba to the Earth's Merkaba, as I was saying, like through the tobals, quantum tunneling, and yeah, full ignition through a very specific frequency, and because also throughout all this talk we have been sharing and a lot of codes that people will be integrating through this frequency, and those opening up the cube to ignite the plasma correspond to going from the illusion, this matrix straight lines, to reality, curved lines frequency. Well, actually, the gamma waves is the only frequency, the only range of energy that can bend energy. So we're talking about curved lines. We're mostly talking about gamma energy, gamma waves, and yeah, it's also used to let's say to generate or to achieve plasma, and actually they're quite connected. So and now that you say all these straight lines and this matrix, yeah, because that's the beauty. That's the beauty of unified consciousness. Here you have people talking about like evident for us is the ralentization or the decrease of the frequency rhythm in the quantum particles, and then densifying, condensing, compressing until they densify and achieve a matter, you know. So if we say that the plasma goes a very high frequency, how can it be matter? How can it be evident? And this is where it connects. It's like the epsilon waves and the lambda waves, which are from one extreme to the other, and then they interconnect because both achieve almost the deadline, which is the renaissance. So for me, plasma is that point that interconnects, yes, the bridge in between the matrix, the straight lines. You can find it in the matrix and in the straight lines, actually bridging into the curved lines and the frequencies suspended everywhere. And actually it's it's for me, for how I perceive it, it's quite a big key to master the quantum tech. Ready?
Let's see what I can say for the. Yeah, for where it's ready. I can whisper. It's ASMR. How's everybody doing? Everybody, yeah. We're gonna drum a little. We're gonna drum right into your eardrum, and then your eardrum is gonna resonate with your eardrum. It's gonna feel good.
Okay.
Meditation.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you want to do that?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Go ahead. Get your seat in the laying back position, and enjoy your flight as we take you higher on your Merkaba travels, an airline better than Spirit Airlines, version of Spirit Airlines. We're here to take you higher than you've ever been before. Bliss and love and joy and happiness and gratitude. All the good stuff. So, yeah. Enjoy the ride as our co-host tells you how to put her on her seatbelt. Go ahead.
Okay. Are you having the stick?
You want the stick? Go for it.
Yeah, we can share.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Gamma brainwaves. Yeah. The Gamma waves spend the energy and are capable to generate the highest quantum leaps. Actually, if you want to go to a hypnosis, you go through theta, actually alpha, then gamma, then the energy, and then do the full restoration through lambda.
Okay, we're gonna feel free to ask questions, but we're gonna more
Yes.
so answer them later. So yeah, go ahead into your nice soothing voice and help them. You go ahead and lay down, everybody, if you can. And let's see. For activation Merkabah, let's start with some stuff. Where everyone needs to be. Yeah. Put one of your fingers in the center of your palm to activate your buttons. Activate your buttons, everybody. Buttons. And this activates your palm chakra, so you can turn on your galactic vacuum of clearing and suction of negative energy away from your body, so it feels safe. And then start putting your hands in various places you feel right. Go ahead, wherever you feel right. I'm gonna judge you. And then put it on one, I'd say, on your sacral, and then one on your heart. A little below the belly button, a little in the area. I like doing the ring finger because I can do my little diddling things, like type, whatever you want to do. You can even do a fist. So, yeah. And then you start clearing your heart. It allows you to center in your heart. Heart technology is the major big thing control for the Merkabah coming up. The fuel comes from the solar plexus, and positive emotions, when they're flowing well, the tornado starts flowing well. So that'll also be in your sacral. The generators are mostly in your sacral. Electromagnetic field amplifies in your heart everything, any energy that comes into it. So we're doing both today. But you can do a bunch of other things. We're gonna clear your sacral so you feel good, and then we're gonna turn on your power too, your solar plexus. So, yeah. What kind of things would you recommend at first visualizations as our guests go deep into themselves and then wish to turn on their greater Merkabah?
Inhale and exhale. As you inhale, you're breathing in everything that is around you. You feel the space, the matter that you have created at this present moment for you to experience this event. You breathe in your creation and you exhale your essence, your nature, the gratitude, the love, the acknowledgement of who you are and what you have done and what you haven't done to be here right now. Inhale and exhale. presence, to the divine nature of life. You're bringing in the codes, the primordial codes that you assumed as a soul, as a spirit, as a physical body to inhabit right here, right now. Remember, remember, remember. You draw one triangle above your head all the way to your knees, your right knee, and your left knee. Visualizing yourself in the lotus flower position. That triangle, that pyramid, is vibrating your masculine energy. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Representing and connecting to your feminine energy. Inhale and exhale as you expand them through your breath. Emanate your breath of life to them. Above it though, also near the stomach area is solar plexus chakra, most of your power center, also the location of your ego, your soul, and many other aspects. Your power, your magic, your control, oneself, sovereignty, your will, and your light. We're going to purify that and make it stronger by sucking away all the negative stuff that through your palm, galactic vacuum, send it to
galaxy, and your higher self version of you that's good at recycling it and turning it into what it needs to go, as well as sucking away negative entity attachment, all that. It gets stronger as you use it. Just keep pressing it, clear it more and more, because it does get overwhelmed. Hold it around the solar plexus. Make it feel safer. See it, sun in the solar plexus burn brighter, brighter and brighter in your mind. So it feels safer as you breathe into it, like fanning flame. And the flame of the sun burns bright enough to protect itself as it empowers more and more. We're going to empower that sun, make it brighter and brighter so that it can empower everything you want to do for the light body. Clearing and healing the ego, which is going to hold all the negative stuff that keeps the sun from wanting to feel safe to burn brighter.
And as you do so, feel your heart. Feel the earth's heart. Feel the cosmos' heart. And unite them in this Trinity that's above,
and they don't see you as a threat from fear as you resolve it with love. Love contains all the nourishment it needs. Use the spinning ratio to tell you the intensity. Also the color of your Merkabah, which may start, if it's not moving, at black or red. Bringing it to purity, as it tells you that's a lot of attachment, whether it be prisons, limitations, blocks, enslavement, shadow, ego, overwhelm, negative emotions. Those are all the things you're transcending and healing and purifying and transmuting into what they will. They will be the fuel to your magic. They will make you stronger, make you more resilient so it spins all the time. And you can wake up and see it still spinning. So embrace these things that blocked you as the very thing that's going to make it stronger and brighter and more colorful, out of black and red and into full spectrum light. High electricity current fueling from its eminence and safety. Healed
not. If you feel the strength to place your fear and your doubted self as guiding your will, is because you fear not. You know that everything within you has been guiding you for a purpose, for a reason. Bring all that information and connect with the space memory of the cosmos. All that energy that you have been feeling in each one of your chakras, all that fear, all that doubt, all those emotions, bring it all at once as you have been hugging it. Feel in your creative force. Feel in the beat of your heart and rise it, rise it, rise it, rise it through your throat. Express who you are, what you feel, your emotions, your truth. Express yourself. Honor your truth. Honor the truth coming from your heart. Honor your words with your actions. Honor your love through your actions. Honor who you are and express your voice, the song of your soul. Express yourself. Be and perceive it as the divine miracle that it is, just by being here. All the unlimited reality that you can create when you believe in yourself, when you know that the universe is conspiring on behalf of your happiness. You just need to believe it. You just need to act in coherence and stop rejecting what the universe gives to you as feedback. Embrace it and be the magician that you are, and alchemize it, transform it, use it as your fuel, and continue rising, and crown yourself with the 7 directions.
Amplifying into your heart, amplifying healing energy generation emanating from your heart, bringing that healing to where it needs to be in your body. We'll be also sending powerful empowerment, divinity in the unity of this collective, everyone, to empower your own tornado of grounding and purification, purifying any evil energy that attaches, especially to the roots throughout the body, that likes to get in there and limit your expansion. We're purifying it to pure, positive, evil energy, which is an oxymoron, but it exists, and getting it detached, evil death, like ego death, out of the body, grounding it where it needs to go, where it serves a purpose, such as quarantining evil, vampiric people, like evil politicians and stuff, and dark sorcerers. One little unit of pure, positive, evil energy quarantines a whole auric field of octopus, vampire energy. We're getting that and sending it to where it needs to be, its purpose. Not in you. I don't see any purpose in you. Then the next layer. Detaching shadow. Hugging and loving your shadow. Center points in the root chakra. It's the self-defeating body in Carl Jung's aspect of shadow. You love it, hug it, purify it, detach it from power sources, and shrink it down so it has less of an effect in your reality, and you're transmuting it into the opposite. Shadow is self-defeating body, self-supporting body is what you're turning it into. No judgment. Everyone has a shadow. It's uncontrollable. It does the opposite of what we want. As we purify it, and the more shadow we have, the more we have to work on. The more we purify, and we turn into more self-supporting, which helps us reach our dreams and goals. Letting go, purity, having faith your divinity is shining out. Reminder again, as you center into the heart, let go of more and more of the reality that your merkaba isn't spinning as fast as you'd like it to be. Believe and be that it is, as we beat the drum, helping you reach deeper into that truth.
of honoring your wholeness in a very organic way, and it will continue organically enhancing and speeding up. Nevertheless, know that it's already pulsing at that harmonic speed of light, and that you are being sustained by all those beings, like as you, like as us, want the best for you, for us.
See if you can, like a walkie-talkie, be receptive to your Merkabah. It can talk to you. A lot of parts in your body can talk to you. See what it says. Mine keeps saying thank you, thank you, thank you, I love you, and then crying, tears of joy, so much joy, thank you. Listen.
Makatulu at the Sahinak Anu ala Niaku ubat aen ikas ahet akalau tulu tia setiani. May every word expanded at this present moment from the space of love and unity continue to nourish and blossom in the fertile fields that receptively allow for them to continue to be and continue expanding furthermore. Thank you, and thank you for the consciousnesses that have been present, for your light body to trust, to unfold, and to be present and receptive and continue to expand, showing to you, helping you to remember your power and the capability of embodying in simpler forms as we came here to be. You choose how you exist. Thank you.
Love yourself. Have faith in yourself and your source, your heart, the center of your heart, whatever you believe. Be your true self. Be your truth. Thank you.
Thank you
for joining us for this meditation. Feeling free to slowly come back up as the ASMR whispers gently into your ear.
Take your time and move your joints slowly, coming back. And even though you can end this transmission, you can take as much time as you need just to come back and continue to nourish your electromagnetic field and compress it from a space of love and continue hugging you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, bring yourself back in your crown, into your body, grounding yourself. We're here for that. And let us know in the comments what you think, what you felt, what you heard as you went deep into your heart. What is there? Let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear it. And if you liked more of these meditations, help us. Share this meditation with your friends to help them activate their Merkabah. This will help the earth, every one of her cells, expand her greater organs, expand her consciousness, make everything unfold into a greater reality, and shift her Merkabah. And the bigger Merkabahs of the sun and the galaxy, the universe, and beyond will all shift with us together as this collective grows in Merkabah empowerment. Thank you for being a part of this. It is a big thing. It's going to help a lot of people. Yay! Merkabahs, thank you. And let us know in the comments again. And if you'd like to see more of these meditations, let us know in the comments. Smash that like button, subscribe, share this with as many people as possible. We are censored by the YouTube algorithm, so it helps a lot. We really appreciate it. And let us know if you want more types of meditation like this, and what do you suggest in type of meditation. And we'll have more groups forming. We have a group forming. What's our group for the meditation?
We are opening it in Facebook and in Telegram. Yeah.
What's it called?
Right now has the name for this purpose, so it will evolve into just meditation, sacred meditations. But we will be sharing in the description of this video the name and also the link in Telegram. Yeah.
And and we also do consultations, and so sign up for that if you want. Contact us. I'm on PsionicLeague.com with a PSIOONIC League.com. Psionic League YouTube, PsionicLeague@gmail.com. Sean Bond on Facebook and many other social medias. And yeah, I got video procs, abilities galore, healing, purification, levitation, all kinds of empathic control and influence, turning on many abilities, more to come. And yeah, we're going to do events, doing more meditations. We're going to do travel to the various places. So tell us if you want to be a part of that too. Sacred sites and places of power. How can people reach you?
Well, my email is omnivision.hunuh, HUNUH, @outlook.com, and my Facebook page, Yssah Arzate, and also my website, which is the same, omnivision/hunuh.com. And yeah, looking forward to know about your comments, to know how you felt with this meditation and everything that we talked about. Which topics would you like to know for us to open up in our transmissions, in our live transmissions, our podcast? And yeah, we'll be sharing also the places that we are considering to go. And if you want us to go and organize a trip where you are at, also let us know. And it's very important because we all cultivate this network, we all cultivate this reality. And yeah, if you feel in resonance with what we are sharing, expand and plant these seeds with the love that we are bringing it to you. And thank you. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. And yeah, we have many abilities. I do depossession and exorcism and slay demons, as well as heal the soul. All kinds of different, lots of healing methods. We're also working on healing people's financial situations so they can bring in abundance. There's a lot of stuff stopping people from that. This is a big problem, which forces people into the root chakra and survival, unfortunately. And then, expanding love, joy, happiness, and their energy to full, infinite energy, and their mind, visions, knowingness. How about you? You want to go into a little?
Yeah, sure. 11:11 in
Yeah.
Mexico. Well, if you feel curious and eager to explore the ways of evolution through quantum tech, plasma tech, I call it holofractographic, which is mainly holographic, but using sacred geometry, what is commonly known as sacred geometry, and frequencies, energy, frequency, and vibration throughout geometries, throughout numerical algorithms, and also throughout the knowledge of your body. So yeah, someone was asking about the yin. Well, I love that. I love how to do that, to love your body and guide your body, because your body is waiting for that. It's our temple is there for us. So if you know the how to and give the time and love to know how it functions, your body will listen to you as everything around. So it's a beautiful way, and I get so passionate when it comes to how our genetics and our biology functions at
Esoteric anatomy for life.
yeah. And spiritual tech. So yeah, and that and our meditations, our trips, and frequencies, and also we have a couple of surprises involving clothes and jewelry with
Yeah.
codes
Give
and
you your objects of
sigils.
power that you can take home with you,
Yeah.
and they do real work. Others kind of like a little belief there and here and there, but resilient. This is what we're gonna do.
Yeah, and also if you are interested in knowing your source code or your source sigil, you can also reach out to me, and I will be more than happy to not only to translate it, yet to support you with guidance in how to unfold it and use it in its maximum potential or at a higher potential, and for you to discover its full potential. Mystique.
Okay. So yeah, thank you again, and yeah, share this wherever you can.
Until next time.
Yeah, thank you for your magic, guys. Appreciate
you.
it. It's been powerful. Yeah, thank you. And let us again know in the comments what you want to see next, and what you want us to work on, and what you would be obligated to share more and more, because we got to get past this algorithm to bring out and help awakening more.
Yeah.
So thank you all for coming.
Thank you.
Hope you have a wonderful day and night. Love you so much. Love you. Merkabah loves you.
Merkaba love.
Merkabah love. Okay. Okay. See you guys later.